Ей, това видео, брат, искам да реагираме на него. Гледайте сега какви работи големи се случват тук. Това е някакво момиче, което е учила за PhD. PhD, даже не знам как да ви го обясня какво е, брат. Чай, трябва да го гугълна, защото не съм напълно запознат. Meaning, PhD е доктор в философи. Трябва да си много умен, за да имаш PhD, брат. В смисъл, трябва най-високия левел на учението, все едно е PhD. И това момиче напуснала, за да прави нещо. Гледайте сега.
Out of my PhD. I was in a PhD program where you get your master's on the way, so I'll be getting a master's and that's all good. I basically got my master's for free. I have obviously thought a lot about this before making this decision, but I think this is the right one for me. Honestly, I love research, but a PhD is kind of a waste of time, especially since I'm not planning on getting a postdoc or going into academia. And yes, it is becoming more
Да, изглежда мега яйта, брат, обаче не е, повярвайте, не е.
to get a professorship position without a postdoc. I have even met people who are doing their second and third postdocs, and it is just insane to me. A postdoc, for those of you that don't know, is someone who already has a PhD but is doing additional research and training, and they hardly get paid enough to survive. I find it simply ridiculous, so I'm getting out while I'm ahead. And just a little more food for thought, according to a survey that I will be linking here, for PhDs who graduated between 2021 and 2022, it found the following employment stats for the 2022.
Общо взето е... брат, къде е това видео, човек? Аха, ето го е, брат. Е това търсех, брат. Е това, гледайте какви работи са.
I've cried so much over this decision to quit my PhD, you know, because it's a stressful decision, not that I'm particularly
PhD dropout to Модел.
sad about it.
Бах му майката, човек, направо не мога, бе, брат.
Later, but moving on to doing and content creation full time, it's not just a career choice, it feels kind of like a gamble on the direction of my entire life. Some days I wonder if I'm making the right choice. You know, when I open LinkedIn and I see the pages of all of the people who are my age, who already have 3 years into their careers and are climbing the ladder with senior level titles, it stirs something in me. I start to feel a twinge of jealousy, imagining what it would be like in their place. I've spent the last couple of years in grad school, whereas many of my colleagues from undergrad got jobs directly afterwards. So I guess I will always have those advanced degrees with me. But I can't say that I don't like the idea of wearing a polished suit and walking into an office where I have people working with me and working on a project, or even the alternative route of becoming a professor and having students work for me, where I have my own lab and I teach my own course, and the thought of sitting with my team to come up with solutions to a certain problem, or even find something new, learn something new, and then applying that knowledge. And writing papers gives a sense of fulfillment, you know? There's some sort of camaraderie in those environments and a structure that I
Да, циците са доста добре плейснати, така е.
And of course,
Субтитрите са доста добре
not to
плейснати,
mention
да.
the outfits. I mean, come on. I have so many professional outfits that have never seen the light of day just because I have nowhere to wear them to, and of course I keep buying them. And part of me wonders if I'll miss the chance to experience that life and that lifestyle. But then I start to think about some of the trade-offs. Those same people whose lifestyles I thought I envied are tied to someone else's vision and someone else's pace. They'll spend their lives working for a company, doing things that they don't necessarily enjoy, and of course without the recognition that they deserve. Their work might win someone else fame and wealth while they stay in the background.
Добре, бе, тя преди малко говори, братле, че, нали, идеята за това да работи в офис, да решава някакви проблеми с екипа си, някакви такива работи, да носи костюм и е харесвала. Сега говори, братле, пък как пък си мисли, нали, за другата част, нали, че...
Expendable. They'll constantly worry about getting laid off.
Момчета, чакайте, че съм се фокусирал много върху тия субтитри, че много не я разбирам на момичето. Тя не разбира много на какъв език говори, обаче добре, че са субтитрите да разбирам, нали. Да,
Spending
субтитрите.
their lives around their salaries, budgeting to pay bills, and
Добре, че
likely
няма
renting a
ай-тракър
place to
на
live
стрима.
or being tied down to a 30-year mortgage. Vacations are rationed and squeezed into limited paid time off days. My path, on the other hand, is different. It's freer in ways that feel both liberating and, to be honest, a little terrifying. I'm no longer bound by the expectations of an academic institution or the constraints of a corporate office. I can comfortably wake up each day and decide what I want to learn, diving into topics that genuinely interest me and not just those deemed important by a funding agency or a company's bottom line. And when it comes to research, I'm no longer bound by the pressure to publish for the sake of tenure or grant applications. I can write papers independently, not because I need to meet a quota, but because I genuinely want to contribute to something. Everything that I create will reflect my own ideas, my own creativity, and my
Маля,
own
тя яко
ambitions.
колпва между другото. Яко колпва в момента, брат.
And of course, the best part
Извинявай, нали, че много не обръщам внимание на донейшна, просто съм се сфокусирал върху
is
субтитрите.
that everything I build will be entirely my own.
Нали,
I'm not contributing to someone else's legacy or bottom line.
че са много големи тия
I'm
субтитри.
building my own brand and my own future. And all of the effort that I put directly benefits me. The rewards are mine to enjoy. For example, although my has been a side project while I pursued my PhD, I've been able to make over $1 million. With that, I helped my family pay off.
Живота за тия хора е на изимот, брат. Брат, то ли, че живота за тия хора е на изимот, човек. Аз буквално трябва да качвам кликбейт клипчета и да продавам някакъв моя курс, докато някой брат с големи цици прави 1 милион, бе.
Their mortgage, I bought myself a car, and thankfully I avoided taking out any student loans. Now I have an investment portfolio and I'm planning on buying my own house soon. So all of these achievements are just reminders of the tangible rewards of carving my own path and the freedom that comes with it. But even with this freedom, I am genuinely terrified. I fear not having that external competition, no one to measure myself against, and that it will make me complacent.
Брат, дай ще ги межърнем едно хубаво. Ще ги межърнем.
And of course, there's also the opposite case, that my drive for more will take over. What if I never feel satisfied, always chasing that stone, the next goal? Will I lose sight of myself and values in that relentless pursuit? Of course, I want to enjoy the life I'm building and
Момчета, в момента съм така, надлегнал.
feel the rewards of my labor, not just keep pushing forward endlessly. Then there's also the fear of settling. What if I get stuck in a place that feels just right but not great? What if I accept less than I know I'm capable of? And what if in trying to avoid that, I push myself into something that I'm not entirely comfortable with, forcing myself to fit in a mold that doesn't feel natural?
Маля, тя яко колпва, бе, човек. Тя буквално колпва зверски много, брат. Просто опитва се да замаже положението, че буквално е дропаутнала от това да е един от най-умните хора в света, за да прави... Ама кой... Брат, замислете се, човек. Замислете се. Тя прави по милиони, човек, от да си показва циците, брат. Нали?
It's overwhelming.
Просто чета субтитрите, нали, и разсъждавам на глас.
But when I look at the bigger picture, I know I'm better off than most people my age, or even those that are far older than I am. That's part
Ама
of
тя тая
why
има
I
бъб, братле. Тя тая има някакво AI generated лице, братле, и буквално има цици, брат. То това е cheat code за модел. Нали, модел в кавички.
chose to leave academia.
10к дислайка.
Just for some reference, a professor in the US earns around $100,000.
Ама
on
яко
average.
колпва, бе, брат. Тя
But
направо...
the job isn't what most people imagine it to be, or at least it's not what I thought it would be. Instead of spending their time diving into research or contributing to new ideas in the field, most of their energy is spent writing grant proposals and fighting for funding, which, based on my first-hand experience working with several professors, These funds often go to those at more prestigious universities, regardless of whether they're more qualified.
Чакай да пусна оптиката да видя какво е положението.
Majority of the hands-on work, and the professor acts more as an
Потвърждавам добри са
It's a
субтитрите.
life filled
Потвърждавам
with
добри са
constraints
субтитрите.
and obligations, not the idealized pursuit of knowledge I once dreamed of. So what about working in the industry? Well, the reality is that it's no better. Big tech, for all its allure of innovation and opportunity, is a...
Брат, буквално 9 минути турбо-япинг сешън, турбоколп. Ама кой да я вини, братле? В смисъл, тя с какво е виновна, брат, че буквално може да прави милиони от цици и кулмари. В смисъл, такъв никой не му пука, брат. Наистина никой не му пука. Буквално момичето прави милиони, брат, това, което иска да си мисли.